All right, Hillary, here is the second phase of this process. So you'll notice that we have search MIP and DSA here. Let me just copy this over. So I built it on the wrong tab. I should go into DSA. So I'm just going to do DSA first, and then we can tackle search MIP because there's a slight, it's very similar. The concept's very similar, but it's a slightly different process. Okay, so the couple things, I broke this down into a couple separate things, and I'm not done here yet. But so step one is to concatenate and build the columns according to the video, make the URL columns. So there's all these columns in here become a column in the Searchforce bulk sheet, right? So we use this build sheet to create the bulk sheet for Searchforce to upload it. So I'm going to go through and kind of pick and choose, but some of these are lookups, right? So we like the account, for example, we look it up depending on the category code. So we'll go through that in the second part of this. But others like the campaign name are just concatenations off the sheet. So we'll kind of do it a little separately. I'm actually going to go ahead and do my lookups now because I just remembered you got to have the campaign name needs to have the business name. All right, so let's do that first. So business name and budget both come from SEM Facts. So I'm going to pull up a fresh copy of SEM Facts here. I'm going to pull over the customer ID, and you can do this however best makes sense, but this is how I'm doing it. I usually do a lot of these on the same sheet, but again, you are fancier with Excel, so you can find it. Okay, so all we want to do here is do an index match on, I'm going to do it on this whole thing. These are all my SEM Facts data. I want to find, I'm going to do a match. I'm going to use the CID here. And set this. And then I'm going to grab the second column here, which is the actual business name. The reason for that is the listing name is the only thing we have available to us, and the listing name can be different depending on, like they can have two CIDs that have the exact same listing name. So instead, we want to find the actual business name that it's attached to. So that's the reason for this step. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. I'm going to have to copy paste this because I need to get rid of here. So I can't leave the formula in here, but it's basically an index match. I'm going to take that same formula over on budget, and I'm going to find the fourth column here, which is the budget, right? CID, business name, status, and budget. Don't worry about any math on the budget. I just want the full budget in here. I can do those after the stuff runs because we change how often or what this is divided by each month, so it makes no sense to code that in. So the full budget that belongs to that CID is fine. I'm going to go ahead and copy paste values over both of these. I'm going to get rid of this. And then the other thing I have to look up is the account. So this is in the files, but it's oops, that's the wrong one. It is DSA MIP, cat code. Nope, let's copy. Why am I missing that one? Here it is. It's right in front of me. DSA MIP, cat code, account mapping. That's the name of the file. So I'm going to take this whole thing. I really just need column C because we're not building mobile or desktop anymore, so these are just the mobile account names. And as you can see, this lookup table just has the category code, the actual category, but that doesn't matter for our purposes, and then the mobile account it belongs in. So I'm going to pop that here and then do the same index match. Index this whole thing. Match it up with the CID. Then I want to grab the third column here, so number 3. Now some it won't have, it'll have NA, and I'll show you what to do with those in a minute. Oops, I did something wrong here. Oh, I matched it off the CID. So not the CID, we're matching it from the category code. That one's going to still show an A, but the rest of these should be good. There you go. Okay, so you can see here the category code is what we use to find the account name. We'll just look it up. So we're going to do that. And we do have some NAs here. And the NAs, generally, they belong to an unknown category. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste values here. And then what I do is just to find and replace on the NA. I just grab the general business MIP2. So I'm going to grab this, and then just in the account name, I'm going to find anything that has NA and replace it with this. So only 2 replacements, good. Everything needs to have an account name, so now it looks like we're good. There's no more NAs, so I'm happy there. The last thing, let's see. The last thing that we need is to be looked up, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that now since we're doing lookups, is I'm going to do the description, and that comes from the DSA MIP copy lookup, which is also in the files. So same thing here, we're looking this up by category code. I'm going to go ahead and paste this over here. Same thing, index match against the copy. Match it to the category code. Let's see what I did wrong. There we go. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Fill that up. Okay. So the way I would like a couple notes here on the copy. So we don't have. You'll notice that there's like somewhere else you see there's like 4,000 different category codes. We only have an add copy written for a couple thousand, right? 2,300 and something. So what I want to do is I'm going to delete this real quick. This whole list. What I want to do is if it does not have add copy, I want to delete them. Okay. So we need to have a functionality in here that basically says if it is NA, then delete it. I'm going to do it manually real quick since there's not that many of them. But we need to check for something that is wrong. Whenever you're coding, there's a few places where you have to do this, especially on search MIP. So whatever code you're using, you might just make it generic to this to be able to go find any range. Okay, so now I've got no more NAs. That works. The other thing on this is under the account. Where's it? The copy. Okay, I want to be able to add more to this because eventually we're going to keep writing out this. So whatever code you use to look up on this file, if you can make it like scan the first 5,000 rows, that would be good. Or maybe if you want to put a function in there that counts the number of rows first and then uses that, however you want to do it. But just know that on the copy lookup, I'm going to add more over time. So we need to be able to support the full list when we get it all written. Okay, so that's the lookup portion of this. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Stop the video there, and the next one I'll do on concatenating all these and building the URL.